Hello everyone. We were hoping this is going to be a live video, but we had to record this because Facebook doesn't work. So since yesterday, there have been a number of stories about this administration shutting down all international USCIS offices. Today we will talk about what that means and how it might impact overseas processing of immigration applications. I'm Raluca. I have an office in Lawrenceville, Georgia, that serves clients around the world in immigration services. My marketing and office manager, Nina Clear, is here with me. We really appreciate all your shares, likes, and comments as they help others to see our videos, and really appreciate your support.
Okay, so like you said, since last night, there have been several articles from various news sources that USCIS is shuttering. All of its shuttering means closing down all of its international offices. And the big concern is that processing applications in foreign countries may take even longer than it is now, right?
Yes, that's right.
And how many offices are we talking about being closed?
About 23 remain open right now. It is important to note that USCIS has been closing down international offices for a while now. We will share a link, but you can check their website to see which offices have or are scheduled to close to determine if that will impact you or your family's immigration plans.
But this isn't a huge number of workers, is it?
No, it is about 70 employees. Reports have said that about half of these workers are foreign nationals.
And do we know where these USCIS offices are located?
They are in 20 countries throughout the world, including Latin America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Caribbean. Cuba's office already closed, and Moscow's is closing at the end of this month.
And what do the workers that are in these offices do?
They process applications for family reunification and assist with fraud detection. They also help people who are going through international adoptions and with asylum seekers and refugees.
Do you know who these closures might impact?
Yes. U.S. military families, as well as families of U.S. citizens or green card holders who must go through consular processing.
And who will do the work in place of these workers?
Well, according to USCIS director, the work would transfer to both State Department employees or USCIS offices in the U.S. They also said that some employees will be used as circuit riders.
And what does that mean?
These are locations connected to the 8 USCIS field offices. Previously, circuit riders were INS agents who would be used to interview applicants at the consulate.
Okay.
Well, we can also talk about traditionally in U.S. history, a circuit rider was a minister who would travel from town to town to have meetings for church members, and they would visit different congregations on a schedule.
So maybe they're mean people like who travel from office to office, but we don't know 100%. Right.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't.
And
at this point.
Does that mean that the offices the circuit riders go to are not staffed continuously?
No, just that these workers aren't assigned to one location but travel around. Atlanta is actually considered a field office, and that is open continuously.
And do you know why USCIS is doing this?
The USCIS director is saying that it is designed to cut costs and move staff back to the US to help reduce the backlog of cases here.
But if half of the workers are foreign nationals, are they going to move to the US?
That is an interesting question that we don't know the answer at this point, but I would venture a guess and say no.
So if they don't move half of the staff back, then really they're only going to get about 35 more people to help with the huge backlog we all know there is, right?
Right. If they had foreign nationals come to the US for a job, they would have to show that they have a need for these people, that then they couldn't hire Americans, just as any employer would do.
Hopefully, USCIS has to go by the same rules they make everyone else.
Exactly.
Right?
And then those workers would, if required to follow the same protocol, have to obtain a visa and be subject to the same restrictions as any other employer-sponsored visa holder, with the processing requirements and quota restrictions.
So evilly, we kind of hope that USCIS has to go through the same frustrating process that all of us have to go through. And then they have to pay themselves to get these employees, right?
Exactly. They probably are not going to go through all that trouble.
Okay, and it sounds like you think there might be another reason other than having 35 more workers, such a massive number, right, that are coming to work on the backlog of applications in the U.S.
Well, it does seem a bit naive to suggest that 35 workers are going to have an impact on the years-long backlog that we all know there is with applications. In the immigration legal community, the concern is that this is being done to slow immigration further, which we all know is a goal of this administration.
And how would that happen, the slowdown?
In January, USCIS shifted their focus on processing asylum applications from the oldest to the newest. This change of office personnel may do the same thing for other types of applications which were previously handled in those foreign offices. We will need to see how it's gonna be put into effect before knowing more, but if you have an employee in an office and now you don't, that is always going to delay the processing.
But they have said that State Department employees are going to take over this processing, right?
That is what they said will happen. However, this leads to more questions. The State Department get more employees, or will those currently there have an increased workload? Either way, the employees will need additional training if they have not done this work before, so that could further delay processing.
And do we know when this is going to happen?
Yes, the announcement said they were in preliminary discussions to have it happen, but an official in the Refugee and Asylum Division said it will be within the next year. As I said, they have been already closing offices, so if it is a concern for you, I would check the link we've provided with offices USCIS is closing. And if the office you would use is being closed, then it's going to affect your application. While we don't have very much information, we urge everyone not to panic. Keep moving forward with your applications, provide all the requested information as quickly as possible, and use an experienced immigration attorney when possible, as they may help things move more quickly and smoothly so your immigration goals are reached quickly. Thank you for watching and for all your likes and shares and comments. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, as we are always here to help. See you tomorrow.